right. Well, we're not sure where it started, but talking about money, whether at the workplace or at home, has had some taboo.
Eh?
Attached to it.
I didn't know that.
Okay. All right, so we're joined now by the manager of Group Financial Partnership and Financial Education at JMMB, Michelle Sinclair Doyley, who's going to help us break down the stereotypes so we can talk money with our honeys. Well, those of us who have honey outside the buckle. Hey.
Hey, Michelle,
Michelle, good morning. It's so good to see you.
It's a good morning to you guys. Good morning, Jamaica. Good morning, wherever you are in the world, right? Because we're international, aren't we?
Yes,
Sure
we are.
is.
Yes, we are.
Sure is. Good to see you, man. Oh, Happy New Year. I haven't seen you in a long time. So it's true that there's a taboo talking money with your partner?
You know, I don't know if it's really a taboo, but it's just something that is not necessarily something that people are comfortable doing. And money causes so many arguments that very often persons just shy away talking about what's really on their hearts when it comes down to this whole money thing.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think I've heard that money and financial disagreements is the #1 reason for breakups.
So they say.
Okay. Wowzer.
We have some headlines here, Miss. So I'll give you the headline and you talk me through it. So the first one says, honey, let us examine our financial obligations and income together.
You know, never before we even got there. So putos, honey, whatever. When we put a little love name to it, it softens the whole conversation. But let's examine our financial obligations and income together. Now,
put us where broke doesn't make it any easier.
and that ain't sexy.
Go ahead, Michelle.
All financial obligations, right, whether it includes child support, etc., needs to be matched against what persons individually earn so that we can determine how much each person can reasonably afford. But the truth is that for some couples, they want it split 50-50. And with other couples, there is a large gap in what each person earns. And so they may say, hey, I don't want to split it 50-50. It wouldn't be fair. So let us do it in some other way based on how we actually earn. But you have to find out what are your partner's financial feelings about it. Because maybe the person who ends up paying more is not comfortable with that.
Okay.
They may accept it, but deep down, maybe the person is not comfortable. So you have to ask, babe, how do you feel about this? I know that you're carrying more of the weight than I am right now. Are you okay? How is it going? Because the person may feel financial burdens that you just never thought the person actually felt, right?
Very important point, which will lead to all sorts of resentment. And we won't have to talk about money because there will be no relationship left. All right. The next one says, babes.
Yes.
Should we...
What have you
The next one says, babes.
Yes.
Should we borrow or save for this?
And some people prefer debt and some people prefer saving towards something. And so it's important to determine what are our rules for when we borrow versus what are our rules for when we choose to save towards a thing. If we set rules from before, then everybody's clear on what they're doing. So therefore, one partner doesn't jump on and say, hey, I want to take out a loan for so-and-so, or I took out a loan for so-and-so. Because before that conversation would have come up about that particular item, that discussion would have been had. Even saying, when do we have a discussion about whether I can take out the loan on my own, even if I'm doing it on my own, when do I need to inform you? Those are important conversations because we want our partners to feel respected. We want them to feel a part of, also want financial fidelity, right?
Yes.
All right, Mish, we have 3 more and we have less than 3 minutes. So the third one says, sugar, do we have enough protection for each other and the children?
Sugar.
Sugar.
Make your teeth rotten.
Do you have sufficient insurance to give peace of mind that your family is protected in the case that you become ill or your spouse become ill or dies? And we have things like creditor life insurance that when you're taking out a car, for example, it costs a lot of money for us to check that out. It means that if you should pass away, your loved one gets the car without any debt. Rather than them lose you, they now have to go find additional money to replace your income, and they now have this car that they need to be paying for when they have a reduction in income.
Yeah.
Yep.
Instead, it would be better the person can just receive that free of any liens,
Yeah.
free of
Okay.
any debt.
Okay.
And it
Yeah,
helps in the financial planning for the family going forward. Insurance helps to provide assurance.
Yes,
for
yes,
your
yes, yes. It's expensive not to have it, not have it. It's more
Correct.
expensive to not have it than to. Right. Okay, darling,
Yes.
how do we grow old together and be financially free?
We'll talk about that later, honey.
Darling, if you don't have a pension plan in place, I'm really scared that it is my pension that will have to take care of the both of us. And suppose it can't manage that. So it's a real conversation that we need to have, right? How are you going to make sure that both persons have the kind of financial security that is needed in the later years, in the golden years?
Yep. Final one, and you have what, 50 seconds. Sweetie, should we manage our account separately or jointly?
Now, for some couples, this is natural, that they just put their funds together, especially if they had been married when they're young. But for some persons, it's a second marriage, or for whatever reason, they're saying, I prefer to just keep it separate. That's an important conversation to have, and how to navigate it is also important. For some persons, you may want to start out with one joint account, and then as you get more trusting, then you may want to extend the number of accounts that your loved one is on. But it becomes important to have that discussion. Even if you're gonna keep the money separate, what you don't want to have is financial infidelity, because that breeds all kinds of problems.
And tell us what that is, Mish.
Financial infidelity is when you're cheated financially. So it means that your partner doesn't know what is happening with you financially. And it could be something great that's happening to you financially, or it could be something
Bad.
terrible happening to you financially. But remember, if we're going to be a couple, there's a reason why we're a couple, we're not single,
Yeah. All right, Mom. Very passionate, very impressed.
I always love talking to
Yep.
Mish. Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day. Have a great day today, and God bless you.
Valentine's to you.
Thank
God
you,
bless.
Michelle. Manager of
Thank
Group
you.
Financial Partnerships and Financial Education at JMMB. And you can see why. Michelle Sinclair Doyley.
We take a break. When we come back, the second edition of News in 5 comes up in 2 minutes. Stay with us, please.